Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CarAlarm podcast. My name is Alex,
I'm Gaven.
and today we're doing first ever kind of video, a top 10 best matches of 2017 from all of wrestling, at least on my list. I'm not sure what you have. You don't know what I have. We're going to list off our best matches, give a reason why, and that's the video. It's just what matches we think were the best.
Even though we're like probably a month late.
Yeah, we're a little late on it, but it doesn't matter. You can't be too late for listing off the best matches of a past year.
Well, unless we did this in like 2019.
Well, no, then it's like a classic year of wrestling video, you know, like an old school. Well, maybe not old school at that point. Let's just get right into it. Before we start listing the top 10, I do have a few honorable mentions that I excluded from the top 10, but I still would like to mention that I enjoyed Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles at Clash of Champions.
That was pretty good.
I liked that match a lot. Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe at Great Balls of Fire.
That was really good.
Kairi Sane versus Peyton Royce versus Nikki Cross versus Ember Moon at NXT TakeOver Orlando.
I didn't see that one.
It was a really good fatal four-way. It was when Asuka had moved up to the main roster. So
I remember that.
NXT
I remember them making the match.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch it and I never got around to it.
It was really good. I wanted to put it on the list, but I ended up not. So there you go. Let's get started with my number 10. Velveteen Dream versus Alistair Black at NXT TakeOver War Games.
Now, I watched this match. It was really good.
Yeah, I think this match had probably the best. One of the best storytelling matches on my entire list.
I liked how they would sit there and do the freaking mind games with each other.
Yeah.
that was really cool.
The whole goal of Velveteen Dream was just to get Alistair Black to say his name, Black is basically just a silent killer. He doesn't speak much, and Velveteen Dream just wanted him to recognize him as a competitor. And then after Velveteen Dream was beaten by Alistair Black, he finally ended up saying his name. It was just really well done. And a really good in-ring match, too, not just for the story. And your number 10.
My number 10 is Strowman versus Lesnar. The only reason it's number 10 and not like number 7 is because I don't think Lesnar should have won. With all the build-up to the match and for Lesnar to kill him like he did, that's why it's number 10. It was really good.
He put up a fight, but in the end,
yeah,
I think he should be the one Universal Champion right now. I'm not on board with Lesnar too much.
Me neither. I like Lesnar a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't like him as any champion because he's not around that much. And he doesn't have an excuse for it either. It's just, I don't feel like being here.
I think I'm mostly just he doesn't like traveling as much, so I think that's a pretty good excuse because they travel so much more than like pretty much any other job. But
except for like the NFL.
Yeah, I think I just don't like the idea of Reigns being the one to take it off of Lesnar after you have Strowman and Joe and all these guys fight him.
Especially Strowman.
Yeah, especially Strowman.
Strowman has improved a lot, and I think he deserves the world. Yeah, especially after he's been trying to kill everybody just to get the title. I think he deserves it.
Okay. Let's move on to number 9. My number 9, as well as my number 8, are WrestleMania 33 matches. Number 9 is Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. The match that we both, before WrestleMania, had absolutely zero hope for, and we thought would just be a standing contest until someone hit their finisher 3 times to win.
That's the match that pissed me off.
What, in the WrestleMania 33 match?
The entire feud.
Oh, yeah.
I did not like it at all. I don't like Goldberg.
I very much enjoyed the WrestleMania 33 match. I thought it was way better than I ever dreamed it could have been, and it's not the best match of the year, but considering what they had and considering Goldberg, I thought it was really good, and it was only, I think, like 10 minutes of I think it was about 10 minutes, including entrances. Maybe a little more because that was a long WrestleMania rant, but it was just very fast, and I think it's exactly what it needed to be, and it was really fun to watch. So that's why it's my number 9.
See, Goldberg's not even on my list.
I would like to mention that my list is kind of loose because now saying it, I kind of think Velveteen Dream and Black should be above Goldberg and Lesnar. So this is kind of a loose list. You know, it's just my opinion and how I felt when I made the list. It's constantly changing all the time, but I'll stick with it.
All right. My number 9 is Alistair Black versus Velveteen Dream.
With good reason, sir.
Yeah. I just think the other matches I have on here are just a smidge bit better.
Yeah, I felt that way about pretty much every match on here. I felt they were just like 0.01% better than each one, so I kind of decided to put some above the others, even though I feel like sometimes this match is better than the one above it, but yeah, I go back and forth.
Depends on the day.
Yeah. My number 8 is Seth Rollins versus Triple H at WrestleMania 33.
That was a really good match.
Yeah, I love this match. Seth Rollins is my favorite, as you may or may not know. And I love the whole feud. The whole Kingslayer gimmick was great, and the match was really good too. And a good cap on the entirety, I think, of the authority angle with Triple H and Rollins.
Yeah,
and just ending. Really, it kind of ended the whole authority thing in forever.
Which I'm glad about. Yeah, it was very glad.
It was, and I think it was a worthy cap. I know we during the authority thing we were like, okay, this is much, and looking back, it lasted a little too long, but I think more than a little. Yeah, more than a little. Probably like
way too
a
long.
year and a half too long. After Daniel Bryan probably should have ended it, but I thought it was a good cap for the past long time they've been building it.
My number 8 is Lesnar versus Styles.
Yeah, okay.
That one, I liked it a lot because I thought it was going to be a squash match. And it was in the beginning, but then Styles got really going.
Yeah,
which is something you don't really see a lot with Lesnar. It's usually just, okay, you get a little offense, but not a lot.
And the selling from Lesnar has to be talked about, too.
I also liked when the calf crusher, when Lesnar just freaking drove Styles' skull into the mat. I think that was probably my favorite part of the match.
I think my favorite part was just the way Lesnar was selling, and when he went for the F5 after the calf crusher, he was still selling like he could barely stand up, and then he sold his leg after the match. I've never seen Lesnar sell like that for anyone.
It was really good. It was definitely surprising.
Yes, it was.
Especially on Lesnar's part.
Yep. So my number 7 was Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles at Survivor Series. So we got to talk about it already, so I'm handing it back to you.
Mine is Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin versus Ziggler for the U.S. title.
I don't think I remember that match.
The one that Ziggler won the U.S. title match in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That, more because of the shock factor. I thought Bobby Roode was going to win or Corbin would retain and Ziggler was going to get pinned. But nope, Dolph Ziggler won, and it was a really good match, and it just surprised me a lot that Ziggler actually won.
I don't remember it that well. I think I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I'm sure I can find it, but I remember it a little more now that you mentioned that it was when Ziggler won the title. I remember enjoying it too. My number 6 is Finn Balor versus AJ Styles at TLC. This was a dream match of mine. I think most people could say it is a dream match to see Finn Balor have a one-on-one match with AJ Styles. A little disappointing that there was no build-up or storyline to it because it was just kind of off-the-cuff thing where Wyatt was sick, so they had to get a replacement. And you couldn't have gotten a better one than AJ Styles. I imagine this would probably be close to number 1 if it had build-up and it had any kind of feud, especially involving the club.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
But a really good match. They had a couple of moments where they were like a little bit, you could tell they never wrestled together before.
But it was like in the mixed match challenge when you had Balor and Shinsuke.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell they hadn't wrestled before because when they were first in the match, it was a little awkward, but then they got into it and it was really good.
That's exactly what happened with Styles and Balor, except it wasn't for a while. It was only like two spots out of everything that was a little bit weird. Where in Lesnar and Styles, there was like 2 or 3 moments that were a little bit weird, but that match was so intense and fast that it was almost just you forget about it the next 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But Balor and Styles was great for me.
Now that is actually my number 6 too.
Okay. Alright, good. We're going at a good pace here. Then I'll move on to my number 5, which is the New Day versus the Usos at Hell in a Cell.
The Hell in a Cell match, right?
Yes, the Hell in a Cell tag team match. That was absolutely wonderful. I think it was about a 35-minute match in ring.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I went back and watched all these matches while I was making the list, and Yeah, great tag team match.
I absolutely love when they took the kendo sticks and pinned one of the Usos to the cage.
I know.
That was fucking incredible.
It was great. Also handcuffing Xavier Woods and tying him to the ring post and just wailing on him. That made me cringe not in like a bad way, but in just like that has to hurt that guy so much. There's no, whatever anyone says about pro wrestling, they need to watch that and then tell me that they wouldn't be crying afterwards.
That is insane.
I have another tag match on this list that I think was better, but not by much. That was the best tag team match I think all year. I didn't get to see that pre-show match with New Day and Usos. I forgot about it. I heard that was really good, but for me, this was the best tag team match on the main roster all year long.
So, it was absolutely incredible.
Your number 5?
My number 5 was the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match.
Okay.
I liked that one a lot.
I didn't like that match.
I did, because I especially liked in the end when Strowman just had Triple H by the throat, pinned to the freaking second rope, and basically, I'll freaking kill you.
Yeah.
I liked when Sami and Kevin Owens attacked Shane McMahon. I liked it overall. It was a good match.
But what about Bobby Roode and Finn Balor and everyone all the other guys just being completely glossed over like they don't mean anything? What about that part?
That's the part that disappointed me.
Especially I think Finn Balor and Bobby Roode. That's the main reason.
They should. That's a good match.
And Nakamura as well.
Balor versus Bobby Roode. Mm-hmm. That would be incredible.
Yep. I think I want Bobby Roode versus AJ Styles as well.
I do too.
That would be great too.
I think Bobby Roode versus anyone would be good. And I'm including Kurt Hawkins because Bobby Roode is that good.
Okay.
I'm not saying it would be incredible, but good.
Yeah, alright, that's fair. My number 4 is the Authors of Pain versus the Revival versus DIY at NXT TakeOver Orlando in a triple threat elimination match.
Is that the one where DIY split up?
No, it's not. It was earlier this year, the weekend of WrestleMania. And absolutely, I think this would have probably been my number 2 or number 1 had the match kept all the momentum it had until the first elimination. Because the match went for about, I'd say, maybe 20 minutes with absolutely zero flaws whatsoever in my book. Then they eliminated I believe it was DIY that got eliminated. Then it was Revival and Authors of Pain. DIY got eliminated kind of, out of nowhere. Kind of broke the momentum a little bit. But then the Revival and Authors of Pain wasn't
a good match. I actually watched this match.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't bad. No, but considering what was before it, it was nothing in comparison because it was so amazing before then. And the first 2/3 of this match is why it's my number 4, and I'm sure it would have been number 2 or 1 had it continued that exciting and
the momentum.
Yeah.
If the momentum wasn't killed, it would have been an incredible match.
Yeah. And it still was, but it just wasn't as good as it could have been, I don't think. Yeah. So your number 4?
My number 4 is Roman versus Cena. I liked.
When did this take place?
Like last year.
Okay.
And I like the build to it, especially because of John Cena, the mic skills and how he just tore Roman Reigns.
That's right. I remember this. Promo. Yeah.
I loved it.
Okay.
I think.
Who won that match? I don't remember.
I think it was Roman.
Okay. Yeah, probably. I don't even have to really think hard about that one.
I think it's probably the best promo. As far as promos go for Cena, I think it was one of the best he's done in a long time.
Just demolishing Roman Reigns.
Yes. Because we know Roman isn't very good on the mic.
Yep.
And Cena just took advantage of that and killed him with it.
Yeah, absolutely murdered.
I especially like the by fourth wall. Yeah. That little thing right there. That was great.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch that one too. I forgot about that match. I remember liking that feud a lot. We talked about it on the podcast. My number 3 is Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate for the United Kingdom Championship at NXT TakeOver Chicago.
Now, I was going to watch this match, and I didn't get to it.
It was absolutely wonderful. I think it was only like 15 minutes, but the 15 minutes is probably the shortest match I have on here, other than Goldberg and Lesnar.
Obviously.
The 15 minutes in this was just... The momentum never stopped. It just kept going until the ceiling exploded, and then Pete Dunne came out holding a little title. Absolutely wonderful. I think that's all I can really say about it.
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it was very, very good. How about your number 3?
My number 3 is Joe versus Lesnar.
Joe versus Lesnar. Okay.
That was incredible.
It was.
Joe brought out the intensity in Lesnar that we've been wanting.
Especially before the match, but in the match as well.
Because we know that Lesnar is absolutely incredible in the ring. He can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
like leapfrogging Samoa Joe.
Yes. But we haven't seen that in a while. When Joe brought that out in Lesnar, and I loved it.
Yep, I think Styles did the same thing too.
He did.
The only reason I excluded Lesnar versus Joe from my list and put it in honorable mentions, because I did think it was such a good match, is that it just wasn't long enough, I don't think, for those two, what they deserved with that feud building up to it. And the one F5, and I know the whole F5 thing is rumored to be just so Roman can kick out of the F5 and be the only one to do it since like Mania or whatever. But the one F5, I think, should have really just... Joe should have kicked out of it, made the whole match feel like Joe had a possibility of winning, because no one really... We all hoped he would, right? But I don't think anyone thought he would win.
No.
And I think that would have helped that match.
I think Joe should have won with that Coquina clutch, though, because every time he got Joe with it, or got Lesnar with it, my bad, he took out Lesnar with it.
Yeah. So
I think Joe should have won it with that Coquina clutch.
Just a knockout victory?
Yes.
Or I guess a TKO it would be if the ref stopped it. Alright, well, my next match at number 2 is AJ Styles versus John Cena at the Royal Rumble.
That's mine too.
Alright. I don't know what... The Fantastic, I guess is what we can call it.
It was amazing. I liked how when Cena hit that, the double AA from like the second rope, and then he rolled and did another one, and AJ still kicked out of it.
Well, he hit the second rope one, then he hit a standing one, and then the roll.
It was just incredible.
Yeah, it was. Now, had this been a year ago, we were doing a 2016 top 10, which we were supposed to do, we never did. We would have had AJ versus Cena at SummerSlam on our list for the exact same reason. And it might have been number 1, honestly, if it was at that
incredible.
Point. But Cena, Royal Rumble, and AJ Styles somehow topped that match, in my opinion.
And they're feuding to it, too.
Yep.
That was incredible, too.
And especially Cena's whole trying to tie Ric Flair's thing, which I love that storyline. I hope they do that again and let him beat Flair's record at some point. I know I talked about that before. But it finally gave something for Cena to, strive for. Because he's always just winning.
He's done it all.
Yeah, he's always just winning because he wins. Now he was winning because he really wanted to... He's not just trying to be the best. He's trying to become a legend at this point. And Styles is the current best. So,
you beat him, you're the best.
Yeah.
And you beat Ric Flair's record, too.
Yep. Well, tie it.
Close.
Okay, my number 1 was Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 11.
That's mine, too. I went and watched this match, and first off, I have to say that New Japan matches are always intense.
Yeah, they are.
I absolutely love
They're always good at storytelling rather than just...
Just wrestling, they're good at everything,
yeah,
really.
It's well-rounded most all the time.
I like their promos, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good, too.
New Japan feels a lot more real than WWE. I know it's pro wrestling and it's obviously not real, but it feels more personal and it feels more like you're really, really into these characters when you see them backstage in interviews, pissed off at something that happened, or just at the after the matches where they're all at the table just talking to reporters and stuff. It's really cool. I don't know the word for that for some reason right now. But
besides interviews, no, really.
Yeah, and just to talk about Okada versus Omega, because that was an incredible, just a 1 hour long match, we should mention, 60 minutes.
It was fucking beautiful.
It was absolutely wonderful. Very hard hitting. I think Okada looked like he almost broke Kenny Omega's neck with a drop kick to the back of the head at one point.
And then freaking Kenny charging Okada's neck.
Yeah.
That was... I think the only match I've seen in New Japan that can beat that one is Kenny Omega versus Jericho.
I disagree with that very much. So I think Okada and Omega was way above Jericho. I didn't think Jericho and Omega was as good as I thought it would be. It was really good. It was very good. Of course, because it's Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. But I don't think it was as good as Okada and Omega. I shouldn't say it wasn't as good as I thought it would be, because thinking back, it was a really good match. But I don't think it was as good as Okada and Omega. They had a rematch too, Kenny Omega versus Okada, and it was another 60-minute match. But I don't think it was as good as the first. I think the first was the best.
Sequels aren't usually as good.
No, but it was a damn good match, just like the first one. Better than pretty much every other match as well. But I'm not going to include Okada versus Omega twice on this list, so
right.
I didn't want to do that. I did see this year, speaking of New Japan, we're done with the top 10. Whoop, whoop. Now we're just going to ramble for a little while. Both of our number ones is Okada versus Omega. What a surprise if you knew this match happened. I seen Cody Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi this year at Wrestle Kingdom. I think we're on 12, right, this year?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. That match probably wasn't match of the year worthy, but I just enjoyed it for whatever reason so much. Of course, Kota Ibushi's great. Cody Rhodes is great. So they had a really good match. But I really, really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it more so than Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll rewatch them both, look into it, and get back to you. But I recommend going and watch that match as well.
Should definitely go look into that. Cody Rhodes is really good. And
he is.
As much as it disappointed me to see the Stardust angle, because I feel like the only reason he got the Stardust thing is because of Goldust.
Yeah, they wanted to put him in a tag team.
But you can have Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
I like the Stardust thing.
I did too, but
I don't understand why people.
You could see that
he didn't really want to be there.
He did not like it at all, and that's the only reason I don't like it, is because Cody was not.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been doing it if he had not liked it. But you know what? I mean, that's most people are doing stuff they don't like, especially people that aren't like AJ Styles level. You think Kurt Hawkins wants to be doing this?
No.
I mean, I know. Listen, he's in WWE. You know, that's enough for itself just to be in WWE. That's pretty good. But I mean, if he had a choice, he definitely wouldn't be having a 116 match losing streak. Even though now, honestly, that's not the worst thing they could be doing with him. But before, he was just off of TV completely, losing. There we go. That's our top 10 matches of 2017 for all of pro wrestling, NXT, New Japan included. Didn't get to watch much indie, at least not that I remember. I think they had Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. I don't think that deserves to be on Match of the Year. I think that might have been in 2016.
I think it was, honestly.
I don't remember, but I stick by my list. Again, loosely. I think you can change a few spots, and I probably wouldn't argue it. Not a single bit, including New Day and Usos and the Revival and the whole DIY match. But
I do want to mention, though, I do want to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Ronda Rousey now that she's in the WWE officially.
Yeah.
I want to see what they're doing with her, and I want to see how she is in the ring.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting her to be, like, incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure she'll be really good.
I think, I don't know how much wrestling training she has when she was in MMA.
Right.
But if she has enough, and I'm sure she has at least a little, for sure she has at least a passable amount, she can just use that if she has to, which I think is the best plan.
And you can also use that little MMA training in it too.
Just like Sonya Deville does. Just use that.
And Shinsuke.
And Lesnar. Ken Shamrock from the 90s.
Lesnar is intense with his, though.
Yeah.
Let's rewind back to when he killed Randy Orton.
I think that'll do it for this video.
Yeah.
Trying something new out here. We're going to keep trying to come up with some new stuff to do. You can follow us on Twitter at CarAlarm Podcast.
You can find our Facebook page, type in the little search bar, the @ symbol, sounding CarAlarm. You'll find our page, give us a like, follow, all that good stuff.
Subscribe here on our YouTube channel. And we are CarAlarm.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching.